I was 21 years old when I started my internship at a mid-sized accounting firm in downtown Chicago. It was my first real job, the kind of office where everything feels quiet, clean, and lifeless. White walls, bright lights, people glued to their screens, barely speaking to one another. Everything felt normal, except for one thing: the first signs. On my second day, I noticed a cubicle at the far end of the floor. Cubicle 14. There was a man sitting there. No one introduced him. No one mentioned his name. He didn't talk to anyone. He was just there, tall, pale, and his eyes were always wide open, like he was afraid to blink. A few hours into the shift, I felt it, that uncomfortable feeling, like someone was watching me. When I looked up, my stomach dropped. A head was slowly rising above the cubicle wall. It was him. Only his eyes and forehead were visible. He stared at me for a few seconds before speaking in a calm, unnatural voice. "Did you hear it too?" Before I could respond, he slowly lowered himself back down. No one else reacted. No one else noticed. It started happening every day. And only to me.
The phone call.
One night at exactly 2:17 a.m. my phone rang. Unknown number. I hesitated, then answered. At first there was nothing, just silence, then breathing. "Slow, steady," a whisper followed. "I sit where you can't see me." My hands began to shake. The voice repeated a strange, puzzle-like sentence over and over again. And then, a loud, distorted laugh. The call ended. The empty cubicle. The next morning, cubicle 14 was empty. No chair pulled out. No computer on. Nothing. I asked my supervisor about it. She looked confused. "That cubicle hasn't been assigned to anyone for months," she said. Maintenance confirmed it. There was no record of anyone working there. I tried to convince myself it was stress, that I imagined everything, the physical encounter. 3 weeks later, I woke up at 5 a.m. for no reason at all. The room felt heavy, quiet, too quiet. I walked to my window and pulled the curtain aside, and froze. Someone was standing in my backyard, near the tree. The same pale face, the same wide, unblinking eyes. He slowly raised his head, just like he used to over the cubicle wall, and smiled. "You finally looked," he said softly. Then he stepped backward and disappeared into the darkness. Aftermath. I moved out 2 weeks later, quit the internship, changed my routine, but even now when I'm sitting at a desk, in a quiet room, I still feel it. That sensation of being watched, and I never look over the wall anymore. Sophie was 17. She was a quiet, thoughtful girl who worked part-time at a small grocery store in Portland, Oregon after school. The store wasn't very big, but each section was separate: produce, bakery, frozen foods, and finally, the dairy section. Sophie mostly worked at the register or restocking shelves, the stranger at work. There was another employee there, a man in his mid-20s named Logan. Logan worked in the dairy section. He didn't talk much, but whenever Sophie walked past, he seemed to be watching her. Not in a rude way, but in a way that made her uneasy, as if he was quietly noticing everything she did. At first, Sophie ignored it. The first strange sign. All the employees had a group chat to share shifts and announcements. One evening, Sophie got a private message on her phone. "Hi, this is Logan. Hope you don't mind me messaging." Sophie froze. She had never given him her number. She assumed he must have gotten it from the group chat. It wasn't unusual. She replied briefly, "Okay, no problem." But instead of stopping, the messages kept coming. "You look tired today. Blue really suits you. You seem quiet, but I can tell there's a lot going on in your mind." It felt too personal, crossing the line. Sophie slowly started responding less. She hoped it would end on its own. Then one night, she got a message that made her blood run cold. "Are you watching that true crime show tonight?" Sophie was indeed watching that exact show alone at home. She hadn't told anyone. Not at work, not online. Her heart pounded. She turned off the TV immediately and drew the blinds. The room felt unnervingly silent. The fear grows. The next day at work, Logan acted normal. But Sophie felt different. Like someone was following her. At the store, on the street, even outside her house. That night, she got another message. "You left early today. The rain started just as you walked home." Sophie remembered she hadn't taken an umbrella. She typed shakily, "How do you know that?" Moments later, his reply came, "I just pay attention." The confrontation. Sophie finally mustered courage. She wrote firmly, "Please stop messaging me. This is scaring me." For a while, there was no reply. Then came the last message. "If you tell anyone, you'll regret it." It was terrifying enough. The next day, Sophie showed everything to the store manager. The messages, the timestamps, everything. The police got involved. They discovered Logan had been using fake accounts to monitor her social media, tracking her routines, her daily habits, even information near her home. The ending. Logan was immediately fired and faced a restraining order against Sophie. A few weeks later, Sophie left the store. New number, new routines, a fresh start. But even today, when she turns on her phone at night and a notification pops up, her heart stops for a moment. Because the scariest thing isn't darkness. It's realizing someone knows more about you than you know about yourself.